Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining in. So, we at the Finance Story have published several articles and interviews with several individuals in the last year in the offshoring space, and we know that the opportunities is real and huge. So, for instance, in the US, only most of them, large firms have started their offshore practice in India, and now even a couple of mid-sized firms are starting their offshore practice in India as well, and most of them have had like amazing business outcomes. So, looking at this, several mid-sized CPA firms are also keen, to do the same, but they say they are yet to start or they are yet to decide on. So apparently the opportunity is there, but a lot of the market is still untapped. So to understand these opportunities in this space, we have with us Deepak Rao, who's a seasoned audit professional with almost 20 years of experience in the Big Fours. He actually decided to quit his role as an audit partner and start Deepak Rao and Company in 2022. He's also very well versed in the offshoring space and is on the board of a growing offshoring firm. So today, Deepak will actually talk about the opportunities and the trends in this space. And if you are starting out an offshoring firm in 2023, is it a good idea? If yes, how? And he'll be talking about his journey. So Deepak, thanks a ton for joining in, and thank you so much for making the time.
Thank you, Chantal, for inviting me for this session. And good evening to everyone who's participating in the event. And good afternoon to you, Chantal. I think you're in the UAE time zone. So, yeah. So I'm excited to speak in this event and share my experiences with people.
Thank you so much. And everyone joining in, please feel free to ask your questions. We will take up your questions, like after every 5 minutes, we'll take up a question. So, Deepak, my first question for you is, I also have it on the banner here. Why did you have a very interesting career, right? You've started at the Big Four, then you've worked in the UK with the Big Four, you worked in Dubai, then you returned to India again with the Big Four, PwC. You grew, you moved to BDO, and then you grew to a partner, right? And then in 2022, you decided to start your own. So my first question to you is like, why audit? And did you have a career planned out? Like, what's the decisions you've taken?
Okay. First of all, thanks for the introduction, Chantal, which you've done for the kind introduction. My career, the path was guided by my father. He is a banking professional in the commerce field, and I used to see him day in day out, and I was interested in what he was doing. And he's the person. He's my mentor. He's my role model. He guided me into what I should be doing. And obviously the suggestions and guidance he gave resonated with what I wanted to do as well. And so chartered accountancy was a line which I wanted to pursue. It was my dream. And interesting question, why audit? 1 year of my schooling was in army school in Mumbai. And there, I saw the life of army people, and I really admire them. I think they are thorough professionals, and they're serving great for our country. And I used to think, what can I do? Being a lazy guy, I didn't want to get into the physical activity of getting in the army, but what can I do to create an impact and take a fiduciary responsibility, and maybe protect investors. So I thought audit is something which is like close to what the army is doing, but not exactly. So it's protecting investor community, protecting the financial landscape of the country. So that was one of my thoughts of why I chose that area. A second reason why I chose audit was it gives a great understanding of different kinds of businesses. You get an opportunity to work with different industries, diversified industries, and also you get an opportunity to stay with the current generation, the people. You have article trainees, you have new people joining in, and it gives an opportunity to stay with what's happening around the world, and and stay in touch with the current generation. So and because I got an opportunity to work with multiple clients, multiple industries, I didn't get bored, frankly. So it kept me going. And once I qualified, I thought I should get some international experience. And Middle East was the first opportunity I got. And you know and that this was way back in 2000. I qualified in 2002. This way back in 2003. I worked in Bahrain for a year and Dubai for a year. And that's when opportunities opened up in the US and UK for
I guess his camera is, it could be an internet issue, so please wait. Okay, cool.
that's where I got an opportunity to work with PwC in the UK, which was a defining moment in my career. The exposure I got was excellent. I was working in the financial services audit industry space, uh, and that was in the middle of the financial crisis in the UK. And that gave me an opportunity to work on all the hot topics like going concern, impairment, and eventually, I wanted to come back to India. So, and I got an opportunity to come back to India with PwC on secondment, back to my home turf in Mumbai, where I did my articleship and where I did my graduation, and where my parents live. And I was a third year director in PwC, and I always wanted to become an entrepreneur, but I was looking for the right opportunity where maybe I could get a stepping stone where I could learn of the tricks of becoming an entrepreneur, and how to overcome the challenges. And that's when BDO started its operations in Bangalore, and they needed an audit partner. And I was fortunate enough to be part of that journey with BDO. I started the Bangalore audit practice, and I learned many things, and most of the things I've learned on entrepreneurship was with my journey with BDO. The practice grew from zero to 300 people in around 5.5 years. And the driver and the goal I always had in my mind was the satisfaction I got is creating careers for people. So every win, every business development win, every client I won, the satisfaction was, yes, I can create more jobs. I can create pathways for my team, my work family. And that was a satisfaction. Seeing the team grow from zero to 300 in 500 years, the satisfaction was very, very
That,
addictive,
that's
right?
nice.
So yeah, and frankly, you know I video gave me the confidence of becoming an entrepreneur. And I thought I should relive that moment. I should, I wanted that satisfaction again. And yeah, I thought it was the right time. I had international exposure. I got my technical fundamentals right by working in India, in the Middle East, and the UK. I got my entrepreneurial skills thanks to video giving the opportunity. And then I made the plunge. I wanted to start something new, build something, and I thought there's no better time than now when Indian economy is doing amazing. All the leading indicators are all moving the right direction. And I thought, yes, this is the right time to do it. And no regrets. The journey has been extremely satisfying. Again, setting up my own infrastructure, recruiting people, and also, this my new entrepreneurship journey has given me an opportunity to diversify into various other areas which I hadn't before. For example, debt syndication. It's given me an opportunity to enter the offshoring space, and my core competency had been audit before I started this entrepreneurial journey of mine. But it's given me an opportunity to diversify into other spaces, and offshoring is something which I think there's tremendous opportunity, Chantal, and I would encourage everyone to explore this space. And yeah, and if they need any help or guidance, I'm always available.
Great, cool. So, you just mentioned right now that in 2022, you saw a lot of leading indicators that, hey, the Indian economy is in the right direction, right? So could you highlight a little bit, like for others who may be considering starting their own CA firm in India, their own practice, what are the leading indicators? That's one. And if you could just go a little in depth on what opportunities did you see starting a CA firm, you know, in 2023?
Yeah. So when I meant in economic jargons, leading indicators is something, an indicator or a benchmark which indicates that the economy is going to grow. It's an indicator which you're getting now, and a most relevant example for that is, for example, the automobile sector. The automobile sector, if you see the car sales number is at record levels, which shows that people have disposable income, and they are willing to invest in automobile, and that's one of the most leading indicators. And plus, if you see all the other indicators, like inflation is sustained, we've had a stable government for the last 10 years, and we are all hopeful that we're going to have a stable government in the next 5 years, and plus the demographic profile of India is perfect for serving countries outside India. Japan has got an ailing population demographic profile. UK, because of the immigration issues, they are severely they have severe staff capacity issues, um, and starting a CA firm. Uh, Again, since the leading economic indicators are looking good, there are many new startups coming. See, I operate out of Bangalore, and as Bangalore is a booming startup market. Every second company I meet is a startup, and they're raising funds by debt or equity route. And the current generation, compared to a couple of decades back, they are all positive about entrepreneurship, and a CA firm is the best ally for entrepreneurs. So I think I thought the opportunity is tremendous, and I entered into the space. Yeah,
Amazing. I like the way you said CA firms are the best allies to entrepreneurship. So I mean that, so if people are looking to start their own CA firm in India, it's the right space to be in. So recently I was just talking to Gaurav Sukhija. He is maybe 30, he was 25 when he started his firm in Delhi. Again, only focused on startups. They grew to a team of 70 by following a growth model. Team of 70 in what, 5 years? And then they merged with Kirtani and Pandit, right?
yeah,
And fantastic team. I mean, the scale and the growth for a CA firm in a short span is amazing. So he was like, CF, if you want to start a CA firm, it's the best time, and there's a lot of opportunities. Okay, so
yeah.
I just want to also break down over here. How has your journey been over the last 12 months? Like, how was it, from from a partner to starting from literally from scratch? So, setting up the infrastructure, acquiring clients. So, if you would just want to talk about it.
The journey has been very exciting, very rewarding, and rewarding in both ways, both in terms of learning. For me, the biggest reward is opportunity to learn. So, I got an opportunity to develop my own website with some help of my, well-wishers. So I learned web designing, for example, and I've been grateful. The client relationships which I had in the past, they've been responsive, and I've used some basic principles which has worked for me. So, and these are principles which have been taught by my seniors and mentors. So I believe no task is a small task. No effort goes waste. Even a small step you take, even a small email you write, or even a small LinkedIn message you send to people to to contact them, nothing goes waste. Just keep trying, put in your honest, dedicated efforts, and you'll never know when those small acts can have a huge, large, massive impact on your career, on your practice. And this I've experienced many times in my career. A small shake hand, and or the effort to go and meet somebody in an event, or trying to extend help to people to get jobs, for example. these are things, part of karma. Things come back. Things which you've done. The good deeds you've done for people. That's where relationships build. And I'm trying to continue to do that. And yeah, that's been my basic principle, which I've been following. Um, I think it's also called the butterfly effect. A small bee or
Yep.
animal which flaps its wings in an Amazon jungle can create fire in Amazon jungle, because it can have multiple ripple effects. So that's something which I've been following. That's been working for me.
Okay, okay. So in short, the last 12 months that you've started has been good. You of course had to start from scratch, but a lot of your previous network has helped, and it's going good. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's
So I've also built new networks. Another learning which I would like to share is collaborate with other firms. Collaborate with people in the same space. Don't treat them as competitors. Treat them as your supporting pillars. For example, your firm might be good in one area, or you personally may be good in business development, but others might be good in training. Others might have staff. Or others might have technical capability in a certain area. So understand your strengths and weaknesses. Wherever you have strengths, offer that to other people. Wherever you think you need to improve, or is an area where you need help, collaborate with people. That's when we win together. So
true.
if you're not in the big four space, we have to collaborate with other firms. And believe me, when you extend your hand for collaboration, there are many people available. Many people have the same thinking, and it works very beautifully.
Okay, so collaboration has been key to your growth in the last 12 months, and it's been good. It's been worth it.
Yes,
It's good you made
absolutely,
the decision. Okay.
absolutely,
Okay, so
absolutely.
that's very positive for others who want to start their own, right? I mean, you can probably connect with them later on and share on that aspect. You are also on the board of a newly set up offshoring company, right? So for those who don't know what's offshoring, could you talk about a little bit about offshoring? What is this entire concept about?
Yeah, the concept of offshoring is using the cost advantage of India, number one, using the scalability advantage of India, number two, and picking up work from countries, for example, US or UK, where it's high cost, where they are stretched for resources, picking up work from them and doing it in India. So initially people used to start off with offshoring with a mindset that it's only a cost saving idea, but frankly, in the medium term to long term, it becomes a scalable talent hub idea. So that's why if you see people are using the word capability center, they're not using it like a offshoring or back office. It's no longer that. I mean, India, and especially the cities like Bangalore, Pune, Hyderabad, they've been in offshoring space for years, and and large MNCs and companies have come to know, and it's become a fact that India is the best place to be for finding talent and scaling and improving profitability of your businesses, which are in US, UK, and other countries. So Chantal, you have seen a recent article. I think I read it in your website as well, where Roman Shetty spoke about Deloitte hiring 50,000 people in the next 3 years, and
Yep.
similarly, all the other large firms also have, the numbers are mind-boggling. You know, and the, that this shows that there's tremendous opportunity. And if you see the US market, I believe is only around 20 to 25% tapped. The large firms already have capability centers across the world, but there are many medium to small size firms who are finding it difficult now to compete with large firms, because large firms are using this as an advantage, and the small firms which had the cost advantage, they no longer have, and they're desperately looking for capability centers to help them boost their profitability. So I think the opportunity is huge. If I put some light on the UK offshoring market currently, uh, in the UK, all the large firms, the Big Fours, the Big Five, Big Ten, they have closed their regional practices. Like Bristol, Birmingham, Manchester. They are focusing on London because they are not able to, manage the work, meeting the compliance requirement and the quality standards with the current cost structure they have. So, and this is so a lot of work is moving to small and medium sized firms, which is good news for all of us. They are looking for more work to be sent to India. So yeah, one country which we need to be cautious and learn from and also compete with is Philippines. I believe they've also been doing this work over many years, and they've proven their capability. In my view, instead of treating that as a competition, maybe we should tap into the Philippines market. We should set up something in Philippines and start operations there. So and use that space as well.
Amazing, amazing. So, would you want to highlight a little bit about, you spoke about the US markets, UK markets, Europe, and would you want to go a little in depth of what is happening there? That's actually, we have these global capability centers, which is nothing but offshoring happening in India. Would you want to go a little more in depth?
So what's happening there is they're not finding talent, good quality talent. They're not able to manage their overheads and costs. And the economy in US is doing well. Their business is growing, but their profitability and margins are shrinking to shrinking very very badly. And they are looking for people with experience, people whom they can trust, people who have the credibility, who can be partners with them. And believe me, the model doesn't work as if you are an Indian staff. They work as one team. You become part of the team, and they quickly realize that the talent and quality of Indian people is by far exceeds their local talent. So that's what is happening there. I think US market, India has been there for many years. UK market, I think there's still lot more opportunity to catch up with. I think we all as professionals should look at UK as well. Some people talk about New Zealand as well, but New Zealand, the economy is small. So I don't think there's relatively as much as opportunity in New Zealand and Australia compared to US and UK. Yeah. So, and there are two types of opportunities here. One is servicing CPA firms in the US or the CA firms in the UK, and the other one is servicing direct clients, direct companies in the US and direct companies in the UK. And the service lines which are being offered is, first is basic accounting. So in the US, most of the people use QuickBooks, so it's all on the cloud. So it's all the work is done through on your QuickBooks in India, and in UK they use Xero, a similar tool. So, and the margins when you service CPA clients is, CPAs as clients are lower than obviously the margins which you would get while servicing clients directly in the US and UK. But the advantage of tapping into the CPA firms as clients or the CA firms as clients is they already have a set of clients. So the volume of work which comes to you for one client will be trying to tap individual clients separately.
That's amazing. I completely agree with what you're saying, because I was talking to this one person who went for an event to the US, and he said, "Hey, the market doesn't look very great." I mean, as you said, the profit margin is shrinking. There's a lot of things happening there. So I guess that is working in the favor of countries like India, where they have the manpower, they have the cost, and there is that justifies why everyone's looking at India, right? Because even Deloitte, like 50,000, PwC 30,000 in the next 5 years. So that's fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And everyone watching, if you have any questions, like please type in. This is your chance to ask Deepak. I will take every question. So you work closely with your current where you're board. You're on the board of a current offshoring company, right? You guys are just starting out, right? So I think that you are in an ideal position to guide a lot of others who also want to start out. So how was it starting out, first of all? Okay. And what is the biggest challenges you guys face starting out, like client acquisition, winning clients, trust? Can you take us through that process?
Yeah, so starting something new where there are already existing players in the market is not easy. As you rightly said, Chantal, demonstrating trust and credibility is a very important factor. And second is how do you approach clients, especially keeping in mind that you're not aggressively soliciting, right? So frankly, I've been using LinkedIn extensively, and that LinkedIn's helped me a lot. It's helped me make the first contact with the people. So you could search for CPA firms, you could search for companies, the CFOs in the US or UK, and you could just introduce yourself. That's it, and then in the first conversation you could talk about the service. And one thing which I've learned is always don't push your services through. First understand what the client actually wants, what is in their radar, what are they worried about, and accordingly you tailor your approach of what you're going to offer. And don't approach clients, prospective clients, cold, on a cold basis. Do your research. What is the company all about? What is the CPA firm all about? How many partners they have, or what industry is the company in? And in your first conversation, make it impactful so that you can talk about something which gives an idea or a food for thought for them, which indicates you can create value. So I think learning is, do your research before having your first conversation with the prospective client. Um, and again, once you make first contact, the concerns people have, generally the prospective clients have, is trust. How do I trust you? Because it's quite unfortunate that many of these prospective clients have had bad experiences with India in some occasions, where people have defrauded them. There are many scamsters also, which is quite unfortunate. But I think this is where we need to educate them, educate the prospective clients, and tell them, hey guys, we are different. You look at a profile, do you screen a profile, look at a LinkedIn. We come with decades of experience. We are not those newcomers who have no degree, or who are trying to get into the space and just to make a quick buck. We are not here to make a quick buck. We are here to build a long-term partnership. That's one. Number two is to build credibility and trust. Offer a pilot free of cost, maybe a small project. Once they see how you deliver, and the quality and the turnaround time, it's just a start. And believe me, once they're happy with you, they don't even discuss rates. Initially, you discuss rates, and for them later, $3, $4, $5 an hour doesn't matter. It's all about trust, credibility, and the work will continue. So if you deliver for one client, and then by word of mouth, things spread like wildfire.
That's amazing. So, do you have any practical examples of the firm that you're on the board of, that they face certain challenges? Because see, if you write to somebody on LinkedIn, they're not going to reply quickly. And many of these mid-sized CPA firms are not even on LinkedIn. To be very honest, they're not very active on LinkedIn. So then, what is the other way out? And give me practical experience. So, what you guys have like?
Practical experience. Um, See, this is something which I've learned from others in this space. So as I said, I collaborate, so learn from what others are doing. Um, we thought how to identify a set of clients where, so there's somebody locally there in the US, because having local presence is somewhat important. So, somebody locally pitching for work. So one idea we came up with is, there are agencies who help CPA firms in the US for their website, for digital marketing and stuff like that. So they are chasing the same set of firms, their clients, they're chasing the same set of clients which we are trying to chase, right? So their clients are CPA firms, they're doing websites for them, they're helping digital marketing for them. So this is where the idea came up, is connect with these agencies and collaborate with them, and get the initial contact from them. And there are many such agencies like in the US which have large set of clients, and that's one thing which has worked really well, because they have local presence. that they already have a client base where those clients trust them. And if you're convincing enough, and if you negotiate well, if you collaborate with those firms, um, it works wonders.
It works wonders. So from what I understand, basically you collaborate with, you're suggesting, that one option is to collaborate, say, with a digital marketing firm who helps these CPA firms, or a
Yes,
development firms who help and work exclusively for CPA firms. So they are in touch with CPA firms, and they are the middle person for you and the CPA firm.
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. And how do you discover these guys then? Where do you find these
Uh, the,
agencies?
the, you just do a search on Google, agencies for CPA firms. You will find plenty. Channel, there are plenty, and plenty of all of them have YouTube channels. All of them are LinkedIn, and they display the list of clients they have. So, and there are many. So if you try to approach 20 of them, I'm sure some will work for you and they'll collaborate with you.
So this has worked for you guys. This has worked for you guys. Anything else? Anything else you would like to add?
Um, Yeah, the other thing is, I said, your collaboration. So initially, when you start off, you don't have that many credentials to demonstrate, right? So and that's when collaborations matter. So there could be firms who are doing this for many years. So you collaborate with those firms, and share revenues and borrow credentials from them. So to say that, okay, let's say that we are part of one team, and please, if a client asks for a referral, or they want to do a reference check, can they talk to your clients, and we can say that we are one team.
Yep. Okay. And when you choose services, like there's auditing, there's so many other aspects. How do you focus on? Do you only do bookkeeping, or do you do multiple services? And why haven't you chosen the UK? Like, or are you also working the UK market, or right now
I'm
you're
also
working?
looking at the UK because first of all, your question on which services, the demand is coming more on accounting service, audit, because it's a lot more regulated. The firms and clients, especially CPA firms, are very cautious in giving away audit work, because it's highly regulated there in the US as well. So uh, winning bookkeeping work is much easier. So that's one. So that's why we're winning, and that's why we're focusing on currently. And also US tax work. There are many people in that space, and if you train your staff, well on US tax, that's also an area which is still growing. And yes, UK, UK is also a big space which I think for all of us as professionals need to focus on. And for me, I was fortunate enough to work in the UK for 6 years, so I have connections there. Um, and I know how the industries operate. So, and I have a lot of friends there, who are already in senior positions and are working in the UK. So, through those, I'm able to tap the UK market, and I'm also hopefully, if things go well, by grace of God, I'm planning to visit the UK in maybe in February, and pitch for work there.
I'm sure it'll go great, Deepak. Definitely. Also about the US. Okay, let's hop on to the US. There are 50 states. Like, how do you decide which state is? How do you decide on the CPA firm? Or that doesn't really matter.
That doesn't really matter, Chantal. Uh, you know, um, there are marketing agencies who focus on specific states. So there could be agencies focusing on Texas, for example, as a market. So if you collaborate with them, most of the work you'll get is you'll get contacted with the CPA firms in Texas. So but the rates across all states is similar. The expectations of the CPA firms and clients are similar. So the basics are similar. So I don't think it matters as much.
Okay, okay. We have this question from Mayank. He says that what will be the motivation to collaborate?
Motivation to collaborate. As I said, so for example, one firm might be good at having contacts. For example, let's take my own example. So I'm good at having contacts in the UK, given that I worked in the UK, right? So compared to others who haven't. But another firm would have experience in servicing US clients, and they have a team already set up. So but they don't have the advantage which I have of having contacts. So if both firms collaborate, it's a win-win for all. So I have the business development strength, which we can offer to the firm which I'm collaborating with, who's already got the staff, and the firm which has got the staff is going to draw synergies from me, where I can introduce them to clients, and we work together.
Okay, on revenue sharing. I mean, it will be a split. Okay, okay,
Absolutely.
that's amazing. Hi, Sarthak. He has this question. He says, what would you say is the basic requirement to start an offshoring practice? And that's one basic requirement to start one. And how would you suggest a new firm should approach in getting offshoring clients? I guess you already addressed this. Maybe you could address the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, basic requirement is to understand, you know, the tools and technologies which are needed in offshoring space, because there are a set of tools in for example, the US market people use, like QuickBooks and Intuit, and there are a list of tools. UK's got a different set of tools. Understand what tools are needed, and get yourself. These are basic. If you know Tally and Zoho, it's as simple as that. Get trained yourself on that from a technical aspect, so that when you speak to clients, you can talk their language. Second, as I said, is training people. You need trained people, right? You need, for example, if you're going to offer US tax services, you need trained people. You need to draw train people from somewhere. Either if you have the time, you train themselves, which is going to be challenging. Which is one big challenge which I faced. Second, solution for that is look for people who offer trained people. So I have a friend of mine, for example, Chantal, Hardik, he's running something called Talent Ad, where he's training people on US tax, right? And if you need people, he offers you ready-made, trained, quality people. So this is also an example of collaboration. So I have a need of getting trained people. I collaborate with another firm which offers training to people.
Yep. That's amazing. Yes, some good work by Hardik and his team. So definitely a shout out. Yes, and also, so Deepak, my point is, what were you said one challenges was getting trained staff, right? Getting trained staff in the firm. So, and what other challenges did you guys face? The technology and everything. Like, did you guys start small, or you pumped
Yeah,
in a lot of money
yeah.
and
We started really small, Chantal. So, and I think everybody, when they start, they start small, and eventually it's like you nourish the baby, you take care of the baby, and it grows. And the challenge is training, as I said, is a big challenge, because when you're in a large organization, you've got infrastructure where you've got teams to train people, but here you don't have that much time to train. So that's where I collaborated with an agency which provides trained people. So that was the solution which I had. This second challenge which we are facing, I think, which is very critical, and we are still grappling with, is how to cope up with the technological investments which the large firms are making. For example, you know, firms like PwC and Deloitte are investing millions of dollars into AI, right? And they reached a stage where I just spoke to one of the senior partners in PwC UK. They reached a stage where a large multinational audit of revenue is done completely through AI, and the coverage is 99.99%, right? There's no problem of sample sizes there, and they've invested a lot of time and money there. And this is where we when small entrepreneurs are going to struggle, because there'll be a time, the way AI and machine learning is catching up, unless you learn or invest it in some form, or collaborate with somebody who offers AI solutions. It's very easy that we might become completely redundant, irrelevant, and stale.
wow, you mean to say the firm has an AI software that audits everything end to
Yes,
end without any human
yes.
intervention?
Yeah,
Oh my,
that's what the senior partner in PwC told me, that revenue, which is the sales, right, which is the significant risk in all audits. Entire revenue is audited using AI. There's a tool which reads the invoices, which throws up samples which you can look at, which throws up mismatches, unusual transactions, and it's so smart. I believe it also tries to recognize invoices which look fraudulent.
Wow. Oh my God. So that is commendable. And this will, if it's right now only in one segment, it will definitely be developed for the other segments. So CA firms
Exactly.
have to be, small CA firms, mid-size, have to be forefront. They have to invest in technology. But the big question is the money, right? I mean, it's very expensive.
Yeah. So that's again again the solution for that is, I think we CA firms need to collaborate together. Maybe a set of how many friends you have, collaborate together and invest jointly in it, because individually it might not be possible, right? So we got to compete with the big firms who are investing heavily in that space. So collaboration is also key in this space. We need to be relevant. Uh, we should forget about competition. I'll give you a good example. So Toyota has collaborated with Suzuki, right? And the same car, different badging, and you wonder why isn't Suzuki competition for Toyota? Answer is yes, but both together after collaboration are doing extremely well. They have killed the competition of the European car market. They
Wow.
are doing extremely well for the Japanese car market, right? So I think we should not cut each other's throat. We as CA firms and professionals need to collaborate and work together, and the long-term benefit for that is it will be a win-win for both.
Yep, that's amazing. So we at the Finance Story are also launching a lot of events. We did one in Dubai and it was amazing. We had CFOs, financial controllers attended, and it was quite nice for our first one. So we're doing the same in India as well for CA firms and for professionals. So I'll definitely update you and everyone watching about it. So I think we're doing the right thing then, right? Because people want to meet people and collaboration is so important.
Collaboration is very critical, and I think Chantal, what you're doing is amazing
Thank you.
job helping a lot of people, and I hope you keep continue to do doing this.
How kind. Thank you so much. We have a lot of questions. I'll take those questions. But since we're talking about technology, so how will technology impact the offshoring space? Today, yes, a lot of stuff is coming in and everything is going great. But what's the trends that you observe for 2024 and beyond as well?
Um, Again, the trends which I'm observing is using tools, machine learning and artificial intelligence to do offshoring work as well. So basic offshoring work, the one task involves reviewing invoices, looking at the data and punching it in. But there are tools available which helps you read the invoices and categorize them in a certain way, and helps you. These are pre-accounting tools. There are a lot of tools available. There are some available which are local, made by Indian technology people, which I can share with people,
Yep.
later. But I think we need to, uh, be knowledgeable about that. We need to train ourselves. We need to, be relevant. Yeah.
I think there has been an internet drop. So, guys, okay. Sorry. Deepak, actually, your internet dropped. So we could not hear you. What you said.
So my basic point is that there is a lot of technology available to automate your work, of including accounting. I think people need to explore that. I personally, in my firm, for my accounting, I'm using Zoho, which is for the size and operations of my firm is working brilliant. Which with Zoho also it's got artificial intelligence capabilities. So similar to that, there are tools available pre-accounting which helps you read invoices, and categorize them and help you account in a more efficient manner. For people entering into the offshoring space, they need to look at that, learn about these tools, and these are not heavy investment, and I think they need to start demonstrating to the clients that they're using that. And obviously, again, the offshoring market is also heavily competitive. The margins, for example, in the US, the revenue somewhere between, let's say, average of $10 is fallen down. Right now, people are competing with $7 to $8 an hour. Right. So
Wow.
again, we need, yeah. So the competition is huge. So we need to be aware and follow the technology which helps in automation.
Okay. So you mean to say for every, so right now the pricing is $7 per hour. Earlier it was $17 per hour.
No, no. I mean, a year back it was $10. Now it's dipping to $8 an hour. So it's a simple math, Chantal. I'll explain. So if you're making $10 an hour, the cost with the Indian salaries, it's going to be around $4 to $5 an hour. So taking conservative estimates, if you have one resource, a person can make, the firm can make 5 lakhs profit per person. And if this is scalable, you can imagine the profits one can make. And I'm saying 5 lakhs profit, keeping your people happy. I'm not saying being stingy, not paying them well, and not taking up staff welfare. I'm not saying that at all. Keeping your people happy, spending well on staff welfare, you can make 5 lakhs and 5 lakhs rupees, 5 lakhs, you know, a
Profit.
year on. Yeah, exactly. Profit, bottom line.
Profit, bottom line. Okay, okay. That's great. We have this question from Kiran. He says that how can you determine the prices of services as we don't have any existing competitive prices either in the US or UK? Kiran, would you want to elaborate or if you understood? I mean, yeah.
So yeah, I can help answer this question. So I think simple logic of to determine what the price you're going to charge your customers. First is determine what your costs are, right? Generally the salary costs range between 40 to 45% of your revenues. That's the thumb rule, and you can add 10 to 15% for overheads. Okay, and then you have profits, right? And the overheads are, the more you grow the overhead percentage, because of fixed overheads you'll get the cost of scale advantage, and the overhead percentage will reduce. So you know what your costs are, and you know what the profit margins are. Now what you want to price depends on where you are in the journey. So if you're new into the journey and you're more hungry for work, and if price is a factor which you're going to use as a USP, you will have to give away some of your margins initially. As I said, take your cost, actual cash cost, double it. That's where your average pricing is going to be, because after doubling it, you'll have scope for overheads, profit margins, and some reinvestment back into the firm.
Okay. So, for instance, if a CPA firm, if Kiran approaches a mid-sized CPA firm, I'm assuming, right? Then he should quote them whatever you said, or he can quote them $7.
The market rate is somewhere between $8 to $10, Chantal.
Okay. Okay. $8 to $10.
But if it's complex set of clients, if it's complex work, as I said, it can go up to $15. But the average is 10. There are, believe me, if you approach, instead of CPA firms, if you approach companies directly, there are companies which pay $25, $30 also. But there, you need to be more established. You need to build trust, credibility, and as I said, once you prove that, money is not an issue there. They don't care about $2-3 here and there. But the average which I've seen is around $8 to $10 an hour.
Okay, that's amazing. And do you want to have some water? You can have some water. That's fine. I mean, you're fine. Yeah, cool. So, Deepak, also, so you mean to say, instead of now just focusing on mid-sized CPA firms, we can also approach clients and also build a portfolio around clients, right? It's not only CPA firms that one should chase.
No, absolutely no. Because as I said, the margins are higher if you approach clients directly, if you're able to win work there. Because if you approach those CPA firms, they'll have their own margins which they'll keep for themselves. But approaching clients directly is not as easy as getting work through CPA firms.
Okay, do you use Upwork? I mean, do you suggest using Upwork or freelance.com websites like this?
Frankly, I've heard people have had good experiences, but I personally, Upwork hasn't worked for me and the people whom I know, my peers, and it hasn't worked that well. We've also had bad experiences with Upwork where the opportunities were fake, and we realized Upwork is doing this to market themselves or create a revenue stream. So I'm off Upwork and freelancers and all those things.
Okay, okay. If anyone has some more questions, please type in. I have this next question for you, which says, okay, you know what? So as you said, right now the costing has it's gone from like $10 to like $7, right? That's the flat rate, and I think since so much of work is coming to India, all the CPA firms are kind of aware of it, right? As they're
Yes.
aware of it, right? Because there's anyways a lot of noise happening. So if
Exactly.
I want to start today, okay, it's not going to be so easy compared to the early birds who start like 10 years ago and or 8 years ago or even 3 years ago and actually grew very, very well. So would you want to add anything on those aspects?
Yeah, so if you want to start today, as I said, the one tip is approach digital marketing firms who are already in touch with the CPA firms, talk to them, and enter the collaboration agreement where you can, collaborate revenues or profits with them, so that works well. Second thing is tie up with firms who are already, as you said, there are many firms already doing it for 10 years. You can say that if I win work, can I use a resource? They already have a set of resources available. I think once you get one client, step one is to collaborate with other firms. It's not easy to deliver that first client yourself, all by yourself. Because you need trained staff, you need the experience. So collaborate with other firms, get into a model where you can work together, and then once that is successful, you grow like that.
Okay, but if I start today, like we hear so much of stuff happening that hey, there's so much of growth, there's so much of potential and everything, right? So if I want to start today, say with a team of 2 people, right? Do I have a chance of actually getting the similar kind of growth that say a firm, offshoring firm that started a few years ago? Is that a possibility? Do you see that happening?
As I said, the market is only 20 to 25% tapped, in my view. There's still a lot of space available. It is crowded, but the land area available and the opportunity available is much more. So the opportunity of growth is still there. If people are concerned or worried about starting something new, I would say don't worry, jump into it. It'll be exciting, but you have to be a little bit patient. Do your work in a dedicated way, give your best, and keep trying. The opportunity is tremendous. As I said, the leading indicators of economy and what other firms are doing, 50,000, 30,000 staff, big fours, these all indicate that don't wait for the right time. Right time is now. Get into it now.
Okay, so if I want to start an offshoring firm, despite the competition, despite the
Yes,
price getting a little, the hourly rate getting a little lower, there is scope.
yes,
It's
there is scope. Definitely there's scope.
definitely there is scope. Okay, cool. So we also have a question. The name is not showing. So do we really need a separate private limited company to pitch ourselves to an offshoring to get into this venture, or can I leverage my current CPA practice proprietorship firm to approach CPA firms, and we cannot market while being in practice?
Yeah, if you want to really solicit and go big bang in marketing digital, then setting up a separate entity may help. But to start off with, I think the existing practice is good enough. Eventually, if you want to do a lot of digital marketing, branding, and advertising, then you might want to open a separate private company. But as you said, this you can't be in both. You can't do both at the same time. There are institute restrictions on that. So if you going to open a private limited company in LLP, you shut down your COP practice and then start the other one.
Okay, so there are a lot of people who write to me and say that hey, they want to connect to somebody who's into offshoring, and I spoke to one person in offshoring who actually gave up a COP license and said I'm going to focus exclusively on this. So,
Yeah.
what is your advice to people like?
So different people have different. Maybe he's enjoying offshoring work and he believes the margins are much better. So my personal experience and my view is it's better to be diversified. I'm not giving up my core. Stat audit, internal audit, certifications, tax advisory, tax compliance, CFO advisory work in India. I'm just expanding and diversifying so that I have, the offshoring, US UK offshoring as another service offering. So that helps in blending the margins. That helps in reducing your overall risk as well.
Okay, but also giving up your COP and starting up if you're sure about it because you can go all out on marketing will also be a very good, it will be a good idea for those who are keen.
Yeah, so I think it's each one's the decision. If they want to give up the other local work, the India work, for example, audit, stat audit, and other stuff, it's their choice. But the way I'm approaching now is I'm using this as one one service offering, I'm not giving up on other things at the moment.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. We have this question from Sarthak. He says, practically on average, how many hours goes into monthly accounting of a small to medium sized company in the US, UK? So, I mean, he means to say, how many hours do you invest in one client for doing the accounting work?
So if it's a small company in the UK, US or UK, maybe 5 to 6 hours a week,
Okay.
frankly.
Okay. Okay.
They don't have much transactions, and if you use QuickBooks Zero, or if you use the proper tools, it doesn't take time.
Okay. And how do you monitor the hours? Like, how do you tell them it took 5 hours or 6 hours? We can also say, so is there a, yeah.
Yeah, so when you start off, you agree a budget. You figure out how many transactions are there for each month, how many invoices are there. You agree a budget with them, and when people log into the tools, the automatic time tracking also happens. So there are tools which helps in tracking time, and time tracking is I don't think is such a big issue, because people there are worried about delivery. As long as you deliver what is required, whether it takes 2 hours or 3 hours, at the end
That's
doesn't matter to the yeah. Yeah.
okay, okay. So they're not very stingy on those aspects. Okay, cool. We'll have questions. You can keep asking the questions. I'll just, so I guess we've already covered this point, right? So how does one identify what to focus on, and also those who want to work in some of these large. Okay, so we've actually spoken about the fact of CA. If I want to start a CA firm or an offshoring firm, how do I choose between the two? I think it's a personal choice, or you could start both and have different entities, right? Because you can't do everything through the CA firm. And the next one is to those who want to like enter this offshoring space as employees. Okay, how is it as employees? Because we hear a lot of stuff in the Big Four, like these guys like really work like crazy, like the hours are crazy, right? But on the remuneration part, what do you think is it growing? And yeah,
So, I don't think the hours are crazy, frankly, compared to India practice. I think the hours are much better. From my experience, what I've seen is the working environment in these capability centers are also much better than India practices, because that's one way of motivating people. Because believe me, attrition is quite high. If you don't take care of people, the attrition here in this space is around 35 to 40%. So you need to do a lot more things to keep people engaged, keep people interested, give them different cycles of experience, keep rotating their roles, keep rotating what they do between tax, audit, and accounting. So given that the companies and the offshoring or capability centers are aware of the attrition, they are putting extra effort to take care of people, right? So um, and I think it's a good career path to have, and especially if you have a long term interest in pursuing CPA, going to the US, or doing your ICWCA, or getting some international experience. I think this is an excellent path for people.
okay. And how do you retain your talent? I mean, okay, you train them, and what happens if they, because Big Fours are really offering, these acceleration centers are offering very really good lucrative salaries. So is that worry always on your mind? Because it's a very important factor to consider, right?
Absolutely. What I realize, obviously money is very important, but it's how an employee is treated is the most important thing, which keeps people in the current job. I've been fortunate enough that I've got a good team throughout my career, who've been supportive throughout my journey. I think the key thing is to empower people, make them part of the process, make them part of the journey, uh, and uh, and help them establish their career goals. Some people might have, for example, a career goal because of family reasons they want to work in the US, for example, right? If you're selfish, you'll not give them the opportunity. But if you work for their good, they will deliver results to you, and they'll always be, even after go to the US, for example, they'll always be a friend. Maybe they'll become a potential client. So uh, the way people are treated, and keeping people first is always matters. And I think you know money is obviously important, but there are many other factors which plays a vital role.
Understood. But Fair enough, but practically, since the salaries are going up, there are high chances that mid-sized offshoring firms are going to lose a lot of talent. So that is definitely going to happen, right? To the larger ones.
As I said, if people are just worried about money, uh, they might jump to the big four. But if the people are aware that they're taken care in other aspects, in the way they're treated, the way they're respected, the opportunities they're given learning, and also the way they are mentored for the long-term career goal, either within your firm or elsewhere, then people will stay. Yes, it is a challenge. I'm not disagreeing that it's not a challenge, but there are a lot of other factors which smaller firms need to keep in mind and put extra effort on that. We really need to put extra effort on that because the competition is huge. The numbers are mind-boggling. Close to 1 lakh people needed in the next 5 years. So it's not going to be easy. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. We have this question which says there are a lot of opportunities coming from the Middle East, US, or UK, and a lot of accounting tools. So, how do you choose which market or which tool should we focus on? Okay, for example, should we focus only on QuickBooks and the US market, or Zero and the UK market, or do both?
So, both QuickBooks and Zero are available in the US and UK. But if you majority of the US clients I've seen are on QuickBooks, and the UK ones on Zero. So it's not that QuickBooks is not being used in the UK, but if you take which one is used being more, this is what it is currently.
Okay, and I think you covered this point of how to choose markets, right? I mean, would you want to add more? Like, if I get one client from US, one client from UK, I think it's okay when it comes to accounting work, but when it comes to tax work, then skills are needed. Expertise is needed, right? So, how do you decide?
So right now, the US tax market is more established, and there are a lot more trained people available. The UK tax market uh, is not that established. I think if you have to choose between the two, which one you need to focus on first, it would be the US tax market for sure. But the UK accounting market is really active currently. So if you prioritize and if you say, okay, give me a sequence of opportunities to choose from in the order of priority, I would say choose US tax first before the UK tax market, and choose US accounting and UK accounting market equally. Give equal priority to them.
Okay, fair enough. That's a good one. We just take two more questions. Also, does it seem better physically visiting onshore for networking or attending seminars explaining about offerings? Which of such gatherings or events should one attend?
I think there are many events available. For example, the recent Glopac event, which happened in Gujarat, was an excellent opportunity for people to attend. And the one thing I would like to add is in my uh, entrepreneurial journey as setting up a CA practice, the CA Institute has been tremendous support. The CA Institute, they offer free software for accounting. They offer group, family cover, health insurance. They offer host of benefits, and I think the support. I'm really grateful to the CA Institute. So I think anybody who's starting, just look at the benefits which CA Institute is offering. Make use of all the benefits. They are offering a lot of tools and softwares free of cost. For us, it's a big benefit. And also, there are many seminars organized by CA Institute. For example, the recent Glopac event. So keep your ears and eyes open for that and attend those events.
Amazing. I didn't know about this. This is some fantastic move by the ICAI, right? I didn't know about the insurance
Yes.
part. Okay, that's great. Plus, we are also doing a couple of events where we're getting mid-sized CPA firms. I mean, we're actually in the planning stage. Mid-sized CPA firms over a Zoom call, and those who are interested could kind of meet. We don't know how we'll do it, but I just feel there's a need. So we are considering doing that. Okay. How about TP roles? Do you see an opportunity? Transfer pricing, I guess, or I don't know. Is it transfer pricing? Okay, means
That's something which I have not,
yeah,
encountered. I've not had experience on, transfer
yeah,
pricing,
yeah,
offshoring. Yeah.
yeah. Cool. So I mean, I guess I've asked you all the questions, whatever we've had. Any closing message do you have for those watching and later on?
I think the closing message from my side is, it's great to be an entrepreneur. Uh, don't wait for the right time. Right time is now. You have an opportunity to create jobs. You will have an opportunity to set your own culture for your team and your work family. India is looking up. Economic indicators are good. Uh, just go for it. The journey will be exciting, rewarding, and you'll enjoy the ride. That's it.
Amazing, amazing. I have this one question for you. For those who are auditors in the Big Four, Big Ten firms, right? How do you see their careers taking place? I mean, there's going to be some, the career trajectory or any advice for them. Because you've been in the auditing space with the Big Fours. What growth could they expect, especially in the India that we are today in? Where there's a lot of entrepreneurship growing economy.
The people who are in the Big Four space and the Big Ten space, I foresee 2024 to be year of consolidation. There could be a lot of transactions between the top 6 or top 20 firms. There could be consolidation because there are competition laws. There's restrictions coming. There's regulations. So many firms are thinking internationally. For MNCs are thinking to consolidate, and the focus I've seen is people are moving away from audit into advisory because audit has become extremely regulated, um, and they are focusing on audit only for the large listed ones, especially in the UK. What I've heard is, the big four firms have given up all the small audits and they just focused on the PLC entities, and because the margins are very poor for um, and yeah, so audit is also going to become challenging unless you keep up with artificial intelligence, machine learning. So um, there'll be tools even in the big four. There'll be new tools which will come into area of work next year, which you'll have to learn. And I'm not saying AI is a threat for employment, but uh, it's definitely a threat if you don't keep up to pace with what it does and how you use it and make the most out of it.
Okay, cool. So that's a great learning. AI is it's really something that we have to take seriously, and
Yes,
it's really going to take away jobs and it's really going to skin through a lot of things.
yes,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
so I guess we've covered everything, and everyone watching it, please do check out Sound of CA. That's his podcast. That's Deepak's podcast. When every single day he like consolidates the market happenings, the latest news, and shares it on his podcast. So do check
Good.
that out as well. So yep, I guess we've covered everything else. Anything else we've missed, or we're good to go?
I think we are good to go. I'm always available. People can reach out to me on LinkedIn if they have any questions, uh, any support or any guidance they need. Happy to do that. And thank you, Chantal, for organizing this. I think you're doing a great job. I
Thank
think
you.
you're helping a lot of entrepreneurs. You're helping a lot of ambitious professionals. Keep it up. Keep it going.
Thank
And
you.
thank you
Thank
for inviting me. Thanks for the opportunity.
No,
And
thank you
thanks
so
for all
much.
the for listening to me patiently. And yeah, I
No,
hope to catch up with you.
you're amazing. I learned so much, and I'm sure everybody watching it and who'll watch it later on are going to learn. So we're going to concise this. We're going to email it to people because a lot of people registered and would not be able to attend. So we're going to do all of that. Okay, we have this last question, so we'll just take it up. Which are the top three sources on how to approach US clients while being in CA practice? I guess you've already covered them, but
Yeah, I think the three, collaborate with existing people who are already doing that. Second is, agencies who are, digital marketing agencies who have their clients as CPA firms or US clients. And number three is LinkedIn. So, LinkedIn.
number three is LinkedIn. Yes, cool. Thank you everyone for joining in, and thanks a lot. You can connect with me or Deepak for anything. We're also doing another a small Zoom kind of an event where we're trying to get in mid-sized CPA firms, who are looking at India to offshore their work. So if you are keen, you could probably fill in the form. I'll send you the details later on. But yes, that's from us. Thanks a ton, Deepak. Thank you
Okay,
everyone for
thank
the. Thank you. See you. Thank you. Bye.